countdown, we have the slithery friend. Oh, I don't like snakes. That is terrifying. Look how big it is. Oh, hell no. Oh no, hell to the no. No, no. I would never go outside ever again. Where is this? Where are they living? Thank God in Canada we don't have just like snakes roaming around to like climb on our doors. But imagine opening up the door and seeing that guy just like, hey, how's it going? That's my snake impression. But I think it would be vicious and like attack. No thank you, I really don't like snakes. They give me the heebie-jeebies. Moving on to number 9, we have the masked man. And if you guys are liking this video so far, then you know the drill. Hit that thumbs up button because it really helps us out. The creepy masked man that you just saw came to the same house 3 times in 1 week. The homeowners Richard and Sandra Gerber were away on vacation when they got an alert that someone was at their front door. This man would come, ring the doorbell, and then leave. Like I said, he did this on 3 different nights. On one night, he tried to break in. Now the owners alerted the police about this man, and so they actually staked out in their backyard. They were just waiting for the man to return. And they caught him. Turns out that the scary masked man is a man named Walter Denike, and he was arrested and found guilty of attempted burglary. In our 8th spot, we have the creepy doll. What is going on? I don't like that. I don't like creepy dolls. I don't like a lot of things. I just realized I don't like snakes. I don't like creepy dolls. Wow, but that thing's terrifying, especially with the sound effects. Can you imagine looking and you're like, oh, who's there? Oh, is it a Girl Scout? And you look and it's this girl? That's creepy. No thank you. Call the cops. Sage your house. Get out of there. Coming in at number 7, we have the doorbell licker. On Saturday, January 5th, in the early hours of the morning, a doorbell cam caught a strange man licking someone's doorbell system for 3 hours. Why did he do this? Well, that's the question we all want to know. Doesn't he have better things to do? Guess not. The homeowners were confused as to who this man was and why he decided to target their house for a licking session. Well, they ended up giving the footage over to the police and they managed to catch the man. His name is Robert Arroyo, and apparently he has been accused of stealing extension cords from Christmas decorations. And so police recognized him instantly, and they too were weirded out by his behavior. In our 6th spot, we have the uninvited guest. Oh no. 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 Oh my god, it's so big. Ew, ew. Oh man, that is disgusting. That is so gross. Where is this? Is this Australia? Because I know they have huge spiders there. Again, I'm glad that we don't have big spiders where I live, because that's a big note from me. Did you see that thing? It was massive. That's disgusting. Imagine somebody, like the mailman, coming up to your door, about to ring the door, and seeing that. No, no. Oh. Whew. I feel like there's a spider on me now. Gross. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the clown. So a couple of years ago in Green Bay, Wisconsin, a number of residents were terrified after seeing this strange clown walking around in the middle of the night. The man you just saw in the video was named Gags the Green Bay Clown. He was first spotted at 2 a.m. on August 1st. Then over the nights, he would stalk a number of homes. If you're scared of clowns, then surely seeing this outside your house in the middle of the night would give you a heart attack. And at number 4, we have the eye. That was so creepy. All I heard is, hey, what do I do? There's a big creature. That's like literally all I heard, and that's all I need to hear because that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Who is this dude? Who is this house? Why doesn't he just call the cops? And why has he got a really creepy eyeball? And like I said, he's gotta pluck those eyebrows because, you know, they're not working. I hope that man's okay. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Coming in at number 3, we have the ghost. Now, what's terrifying about this next clip is the fact that we can hear somebody at the door, but we can't see anyone. The Ring doorbell went off and started recording, so it clearly detected that something was there. But what is it? By sounds of the voice, it's probably a demon. I think it's time for that house to have an exorcism or something. If anyone can decode what that demon is talking about, then let me know. Maybe it's just cold and wants to come in and warm up. Moving on to number 2, we have the delivery. Hear the police sirens? Oh my god. It's like they're coming for him. What is that? What did he just drop off on their front porch? I don't know, but I wouldn't open that. Nuh-uh. I have no clue what that is, and I don't want to know what that is because it's probably something bad because this looks like an evil man and I don't like him. That's terrifying. And in our number 1 spot, we have the old woman. She's not okay. She is possessed or something. I have no clue what was in her hand. She's definitely possessed by something. I don't know what's wrong with her. Her face looks evil. Like, that's an evil Karen right there, and I don't like that. See, this is why I don't want to get one of these doorbells. Like, I feel like I should because it's like I can spy on people that come and, you know. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to know who's standing outside my house? Not really. It's scary.
Starting up this list in our number 10 spot. Okay, so at the beginning of this video, while nothing super creepy happens, the whole vibe of the video is just unsettling. There's like some sort of puppet looking doll who seems like maybe they're hosting a children's show. They ask if you would like to sing with them and then they begin singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which should just be harmless, right?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are. Please do come again.
After the song ends and the screen fades to black, the exact same sequence repeats. The screen then fades to black again, and the sequence begins again, but this time the puppet has no eyes and ends up not singing the song at all, but just looking creepy with its no eyes.
Oh, hi. Sure is dark out. Would you want to sing with me?
We then hear some sort of alarm sound as a strange sort of photograph barely comes across the screen. If this wasn't enough, to end off the video, we just see the puppet's head floating with an extremely disturbing smile on its face. The audio is a little distorted, but it's telling some weird story about their dad and them asking for a toy, but their dad says no.
Can I have a toy? No. He says, you are a bad boy.
All in all, I have no idea what is going on in this video, but I feel like I might be cursed after watching it. Moving on to number 9. This video comes from someone who took a video searching around a place called Satan's Bridge. But before I dive into this one, guys, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video so far, because it really helps us out. It begins with someone showing a bunch of animal carcasses, which obviously I'm not going to show here, that have just been left around from possible sacrifice ceremonies that may have taken place in this area. He continues to search the place and ended up recording some footage that I think does an amazing job at capturing the uncomfortable feeling that this place holds. I wish I could know all of the stories that this bridge holds, but I feel like it may be for the best that they remain hidden. The guy filming finds some more evidence of things that could point to satanic rituals being held, and honestly, I'm impressed that he was able to stick around exploring for so long, because I would have been out of there immediately. Moving on, in our number 8 spot. The people who posted this video explained that they received coordinates on the dark web. When they traveled to the coordinates, they found this tape that we're going to be talking about, as well as a collection of other things, all said to belong to a killer. I feel like this tape would have still been creepy without knowing the backstory, but it is 1,000 times creepier having those details. The video is fairly long, and while not a lot happens in it, there's certainly something sinister going on. It is basically just a video of a guy digging a hole with a shovel. We hear him in his car as he arrives at the location, we hear him digging, and you can even see him pick up an object wrapped in a black garbage bag and put it into the hole. You can't really see him. In fact, you can't see much, but there's definitely enough to know what is going on. All I have to say is I really hope that this video is fake. Moving on to number 7. You guys, I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what is going on in this video, and I don't even know if I want to find out. First, it starts off with another puppet named Sophia, and then suddenly cuts to this creepy masked figure. What was that? Again, I have no idea. We then cut to some blurred out creepy clown face that is calling for someone named Macy, and honestly, I hope Macy runs in the opposite direction.
Macy! I order you to come here right now!
The video then cuts to what looks like a tied up clown with more creepy dialogue, and then cuts back to the clown face from before, but is more visible this time. In the end, it cuts back to Sophia, and she asks if we want to sing a song with her, and then that's the end. Honestly, I was happy to reach the end of this video because it had me very creeped out. Moving on to number 6. This video was apparently filmed in 1988 and was found in a scary abandoned log cabin deep in a forest in Poland a few decades later. The footage shows whoever is operating the camera walking around filming the log cabin. They end up getting to an open window and are kind of focused on it and studying it, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, it just snaps shut. At the same time, a paranormal sounding yell can be heard, but no one is around and the camera goes blank. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but I would have been out of the cabin as fast as I could possibly go. Moving on to number 5. This video comes from 2001 and shows a group of teenagers who are trying to summon a spirit while of course recording it for the camera. They start in a circle all holding hands with their eyes closed and one of their friends in the center of the circle. They're trying to get the spirit to contact them through the friend that's in the middle, but things start to go awry when one of the friends holding hands in the circle collapses.
Потом, Анька, раз, пошли. Слушайте,
At first, his friends think that he's just playing around with them, but then he starts convulsing and everyone gets extremely freaked out. After he gets up from the floor, he is not only acting scary, but his posture has certainly changed, and everyone else who is there is rightfully extremely scared.
Espíritos prontos.
Sustinho.
Os humanos nominei.
Ó, Sustinho, caralho. Opa, não lhe toque, caraças, diz. Olha as costas dele, meu. Olha as costas dele.
The video shows the rest of the boys being super frightened by their now possessed friend's scary behavior, and they're just trying to figure out what to do.
Até uma hora, Nelson, desculpa lá, meu filho, não posso ir.
Pela estrada,
Deixas aqui o André e o Céu. A gente volta, né? E não tem coragem de ir à procura deles agora com o Fox, né, Gabriel? Eles são meus irmãos, gosto bem deles. Mas fica de dia, pá.
By the end of the video, their real friend has luckily come back to them, but he doesn't remember anything that happened to him. Moving on to number 4. This footage comes from Paraguay. It was taken on a camcorder that had some spots filmed over by other family members. The audio and the video ended up getting blended and corrupted and just left us with this footage that looks like it could be straight out of a horror movie. Because it's so messed up, I really don't know what is going on, but I'll show you some of the video so that you can see what I mean. I don't know why, but that one kid who looks like they're sitting on top of a roof really freaks me out. Coming in at number 3. This video was posted to TikTok by a user named Sarah Turney. I've spoken about Sarah in another video of mine and how she used TikTok to help her close the case of her sister's disappearance. When Sarah was young, her sister Alyssa went missing and no one was ever charged with the crime, but Sarah always knew it was her dad and set out to prove it and have him charged so that she could bring justice for her sister. Sarah released some VHS footage on TikTok that ended up going absolutely viral. Apparently her dad would follow Alyssa around and film her, and later they found out that he had cameras hidden in their house, which is just very bizarre behavior. This video is one of many that Sarah posted on TikTok and shows when her dad followed Alyssa to her fast food job and was sitting in the parking lot filming her. While this video is super creepy on its own, since it's very obvious that she doesn't want to be filmed, it's even more creepy considering all we know now. Luckily, Sarah's TikToks worked. Near the end of 2020, her dad actually ended up being arrested and charged with the disappearance and presumed death of Alyssa, which is a huge win for Sarah. Moving on to number 2. This VHS tape was found at an estate sale that was being held in a barn. The person who uploaded this tape found them among the 10 boxes that they had purchased, among other things such as records, rusted tools, and old paint cans. This video shows someone walking through some sort of mildly wooded area in the daytime, which, okay, yeah, fine. But then it cuts to a night scene and it just really leaves me with an uncomfortable feeling. I have absolutely no idea what the white thing being dragged is, but I absolutely do not want to find out. Moving on to our number 1 spot. This video was found under a bridge in Russia. It shows what sounds like a teenager filming the video while riding his bike up to the underside of this bridge. A very strange noise can be heard as he is approaching. This brave soul continues to stick around and investigate the sound further before something pretty scary happens.
Слышите? Ёпта. Сука. Что? Ты кто это? Кто это? Кто это?
I don't know what that sound was or what happened to that boy, but I really hope he made it out of there because that video did not end well.
Coming number 10, we have the Croatian tape. The thing about found footage is it can easily be staged. There's no way of telling if what you're looking at is made by someone with the intention of freaking you out, or if it was actually the last moments of someone's life caught in a disturbing video. Well, that is what we have on our first point. The Croatian tape is said to be recorded in 2005, and no one has any idea of when it worked its way onto the internet. In the tape, there are two young boys who are just walking about late at night, and then they're approached by some strange man. There's a couple things that seem off about this dude. For one, he's stumbling around like he's drunk or disoriented, and two, he has some sort of canvas bag on his head like he's Jason from the first Friday the 13th movie. First, this guy seems harmless. It seems like maybe he's lost, but then he starts to get aggressive and chase after the boys. They outrun him and make it back to their apartment building, and right when they think that they're safe, they see this in the elevator. Now, this could have all been staged. I mean, how on earth did this baghead guy make it back to the elevator? But they might have been messing around with something supernatural that tracked them down. Coming in at number 9, we have the Paris catacombs footage. If someone invites you to come down into some catacombs for exploring, just say no. That's not a fun place to be, especially when you're in Paris. Why would you spend your time walking around with a bunch of old bones when you could be eating croissants until you need a forklift to sit upright? Well, in Paris, someone thought it would be a good idea to take a break from gorging on baguettes to look at some rotting bones. This is some of the most terrifying found footage I have ever seen. You have a POV shot of someone walking through this tunnel system. For the most part, everything seems normal, but then they start to panic. I don't know if it's the strange markings all over the walls that starts to freak him out, or maybe he got lost, or maybe he heard something, but it doesn't matter because he just starts running. As he's running, you can tell that he has no idea where he's going, and eventually he drops his camera and makes off into the darkness. Let's take a look at this man's panic.
Are pictures of bones.
The video shows the man exploring, but he soon begins to panic. He runs through the maze of tunnels and his breathing gets heavy. As he is running, you can hear and tell the man is freaking out.
Now, we have no idea why this guy started to panic or what happened to him after. The catacombs are like a maze that go on for miles in every direction, so there's a good chance that he got lost down there and was never seen again, or that whatever he was running away from caught up with him. Coming in at number 8, we have a doorbell cam. There is nothing better than looking through some videos from your doorbell only to find a creeper walking close to your house. What could be worse than that? Well, what about a dude caught in the act of creeping around your house? I'm about to show you a man who was caught wandering around someone's home, and then they came right up to their door and did this.
He proceeds to knock and ring the doorbell.
The owner of this home woke up to a notification coming from their phone that someone was at their door. You know, sometimes I think it's weird that our lives are becoming so automated, but when you see something like this, you would be happy to have a camera on the front of your door. This person kept trying to work their way into the home in one of the strangest attempts I have ever seen. He rings the doorbell and then tries to break in afterwards. The man is probably deranged and had no idea what was going on. Coming in at number 7, we have the mysterious noise. Now, even when found footage doesn't have something that is explicitly creepy about it, like a dude with a bag on his head chasing you down the street, there can be something strange and creepy to it that just leaves a weird feeling in your stomach. That's how people feel about the Paraguayan camcorder footage. It would seem to be some sort of strange home video that has several different scenes spliced together. It follows a group of teens and all the footage is extremely grainy, which makes sense because the footage is apparently from the 90s. But then there comes this noise. You can hear that strange humming in the background. Now, while this is probably some static that was picked up because the recording is on a very old device, some other people think that this could be a curse of sorts. That if you listen to the full tape, it will bring a dark energy into your life as if you were watching the tape from The Ring. Coming in number 6, we have the South Korean ferry incident. Back in 2014, a ferry in South Korea would take on way too many cars and passengers. Now, even though the vessel should have been able to handle this many people on board, the waves were rough that day and the ship ended up tipping on its side. This is some of the footage from inside the ship.
시원아, 마지막. 진짜 팔기 보소. 나도.
우리 이렇게 바다로 헤엄쳐서 이렇게 될 거야. 일어나자. 왜 네가 들고 있어? 나 이제 토할 것 같거든?
This entire video is about 20 minutes long, and throughout most of it, no one really seems to think that they're in any danger. They are convinced that the people around them will all be saved when their rescue comes. Unfortunately, they were wrong, and many people that day were not saved. Coming in at number 5, we have the skeleton at the door. Having a doorbell camera might bring in more stress into your life than you would think. Let me show you this footage, and then you can see how stressful it would be to see something like this happen at the front of your house.
With a piece of tape. The homeowner got an alert that motion was detected on the porch, and upon checking the footage was ready to grab his gun. It's not known what was done while the tape was covering the camera.
You see a creepy skeleton come out of the darkness and then cover up the camera to your door. Now apparently this didn't lead to anything. It was probably just some kids goofing around, but some kids goofing around can make you feel like your home is about to get broken into by the undead. Coming in at number 4, we have a towering flame. This is one of the most famous cases of found footage in the 90s. When you hear the start of this, you will literally think it's a plot for a B movie, but this is really what happened. It was in California, and on the side of the road there was some old cassettes that were found. On these tapes was a recording of a massive blaze. It was a house that had been set on fire. Here's some of the footage from that tape.
Asexual turn-ons.
That is just a taste of the whole thing. The rest of the footage goes on for about 4 minutes. You can hear people laughing, and you can only assume that those were the people who lit the fire. For a while this was just a tall tale and some creepy footage, but eventually the tape made it onto Unsolved Mysteries, and through this the people were able to track down the culprits. It turned out to be 2 teenagers who were both arrested and tried for their crimes. Coming in at number 3, we have an oncoming train. This footage is some of the most infuriating and depressing footage on this list. It comes from a movie shoot in 2014 when a crew was filming a movie about Greg Almond. They were on a train bridge and they thought that they had all day to shoot, but there was something that the director didn't tell them. The director had contacted the city to get permission to shoot on the bridge, but they were denied the right to shoot twice. Then the crew had to rush off the bridge while the train was barreling towards them. Unfortunately, not everyone was able to make it out of the way of the train safely. When everything was said and done, the production company was sued and had to pay out over $3 million, and the director was thrown in prison for manslaughter. Coming in at number 2, we have No Through Road. There have been a lot of theories about No Through Road. On the footage, there are 4 English teens driving around late at night until they get lost. Eventually, they get to a dead end and try to work their way back, and their car stalls. Then they are confronted by this.
Jay, just give me the... What are you doing? Turn it back on.
It's not me. I can't.
Turn the bloody lights on.
Now that seems pretty terrifying. What on earth do you think that thing is? It looks like it could have just been a regular man, but the rest of the footage is too gruesome for me to show you here. It cuts some of the previous footage on the camera in between these young men being attacked by this strange figure. Now when you watch it, I would guess that this is a very well put together project from a few teens who wanted to make a short horror movie. But when you dig deeper into the story, the rumors say that the car was found with blood all over it, and there was only the tape left in the car. And coming in the number 1 spot, we have the Stephen McDaniels footage. This is by far some of the most chilling footage that you could ever see. Stephen McDaniels was a very troubled person. He was classmates with Lauren Giddings, and even though the two barely interacted, he had an obsession with her. Without her knowing, he would creep outside her window and film her. Here's some of that footage. Just seeing that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. This entire time, Lauren had no idea that there was someone outside her apartment, and it was the last day of school when Stephen would break into her apartment. The police were later notified and found the footage I just showed you on Stephen's computer. Stephen is currently in prison, and there's a good chance he will never be released.
Starting off this list at number 10 with a car commercial. Did you guys read the title before clicking on this video? Well, these are the top 10 scariest videos on the internet that you shouldn't watch alone, so hopefully you're with someone because things are about to go down. Let's drive right into this list with an innocent car commercial. Enjoy. Okay, I'm sorry to do that to you guys, but I did warn you. And also rest in peace to you guys who are wearing headphones, or especially those earbuds. It was loud. I really hope you weren't watching that in class, because you probably freaked out your teacher. Moving on, in at number 9 with Little Baby's Ice Cream. After watching this creepy video, you're probably gonna feel really uncomfortable, and you're probably gonna want to cry as well. You're gonna just have mixed emotions. So let's take a look at this.
I eat Little Baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life.
What the hell did we just watch? I don't know if I should be laughing or if I should be screaming or possibly crying. And did you guys notice that he didn't even blink once? Is he even human? Okay, honestly, this video makes my worst nightmares look pleasant. All I have to say is that I'm never going to eat Little Baby's ice cream, and I hope that I never have to watch that video ever again. Moving into number 8 with the Meat Sleep videos. There's a really strange and creepy YouTube channel called Meat Sleeps, and they used to upload bizarre videos that make us all wonder whether these videos were actually clips shot by a murderer, kidnapper, cannibal, or maybe ABC, all of the above. I still don't know what to think, but I'll let you guys be the judge.
I let you be like a person. You live here. You are ungrateful. You live.
Well, luckily for us, the creator deleted all of his disturbing videos, but he uploaded one last video called No More. In this video, it tells us his channel was operated by several people across multiple locations. This kind of makes me feel even more afraid. What if one of the uploaders lives in my area? Coming at number 7, we have a coffin buried in a backyard. A man thought it would be a great idea to bury his dead great-grandmother in his backyard, and that's because he gets pleasure out of digging up her grave and opening her casket. I'm only going to show you guys that small clip because the rest of the video is highly disturbing and we don't do that for you guys. And to be honest, it's really hard to watch. At the end of the video, he kisses her all over her face and he seems to enjoy it just a little bit too much. What about letting her rest in peace? You ever heard that term, buddy? Number 6, we have a short horror film called Lights Out. This creepy short film can be found on YouTube, but trust me, if you're going to watch this film, you should be watching it in broad daylight, and also know that you might have the possibility of not falling asleep tonight or ever. Okay, seriously, how many times do you have to flicker the lights on and off? If I saw a scary looking demon lurking in my halls, I would run out of there faster than Usain Bolt, and you better believe it. Okay, that face will haunt me forever. I Feel Fantastic takes us to number 5. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely do not feel fantastic. Actually, I feel like my soul is being violated or something. This robot mannequin is just so creepy. It looks like this person bought a Taylor Swift mannequin off the dark web. Someone needs to break us to number 4. Is this what happens when someone tries to give you a high five but you leave them hanging? Well, I for sure will never leave someone hanging ever again. Or it's like when you open up a snack at school and all the other kids want some. Even though this video is clearly fake and they use special effects, well, I'm pretty sure, it's still really terrifying. The person who edited this actually did a really amazing job, but I'm pretty scared. Especially after watching the last couple of seconds of this video. I warned you guys, I literally jumped out of my chair when I first watched this clip. It was pretty embarrassing. A real life psychopath brings us to number 3. I don't think this next video needs a lot of explaining. Just prepare yourselves because this next video is super creepy.
Hey everybody, Beetle Fox here. You're probably wondering what I'm doing.
Okay, no, I'm definitely not wondering what you're doing. I'm actually trying to forget that this video even exists. But I know you guys are curious, so let's listen.
I'm cutting off my daughter's legs. It's a long story. I've joined a very special community on the internet, known on the deep web and the other hacker sites where all the cyber bullies hang out, as the fur fag community, but I prefer to call it the Indian spirit community.
All I can say is what the actual this guy actually definitely kidnapped some real people. I think the police needs to search his house, because I'm sure that they're gonna find bodies in his crawl space and they're gonna be buried in his backyard. I can't even finish watching the entire clip because he gives me the creeps. Bobby, yeah, climbs up this list at number 2. All I'm saying is, Bobby, no. Not yeah. I think I can confidently say that after watching this video, you'll never be the same. I don't even know how to describe this video. All I know is that I'm not okay. This is some pretty disturbing stuff. I think this video belongs to the dark side of YouTube, and I'm sorry that I even uncovered it for you guys. I know some of you guys are enjoying it, and I just want to crawl into my bed right now and hide underneath the covers and just forget that that video even exists. All I can say to the person that created that video is thanks for all the freaking nightmares I'm gonna have tonight. Things get even scarier in at number 1 with Robert Helpman. Before I show you guys a clip, let me give you guys a backstory. These disturbing videos are of a serial killer who enjoyed doing things to dead corpses, like feeding them ice cream and moving them around the house. Sounds creepy, right? Well, I feel like we don't even need to see a clip, but you know what? Here we go. In all of his videos, you see a bagged corpse named Daisy who appears to be dead, but she's not alone. In some parts of the video, we see a masked serial killer who seems totally insane. People are saying that these video clips are fake, but what if a serial killer is real? What if he just has a house full of bagged up corpses and he enjoys posting them onto YouTube? I kind of want to do some more investigating, but I don't want to be the next victim either.
Number 10. Regulations. Drones, right off the bat, they're not a new piece of technology, but they're most definitely becoming more widespread. Especially living downtown Toronto, I see drones all the time. And yes, I get mad at them every single time for no reason. I always think it's aliens too for like 4 seconds, and I'm like, nah, just that guy over there. Surveys suggest that drone technology that's upcoming, that's what the general public fears the most. I mean, fair. That and VR, pretty ominous. Very Black Mirror vibes going on with those two. And part of this, or really a lot of this, is due to the fact that since this technology evolved so quickly, the laws and regulations surrounding drones, well, they haven't exactly had time to catch up. They're cool and all, but drones are quite invasive. Like I said, I see them a lot, and I don't wanna. These devices can make others feel like they're being spied on, when really we're just enjoying the view. In Portsmouth, one man was caught sunbathing on top of a 175-foot tall wind turbine. Yeah, what a location. There we go. The closer to the sun, the better, I guess? I don't know what his mentality is. Drone operator Kevin Miller spotted Joseph Byron catching a cool breeze on top of a turbine. Now, the man had obviously been asked about his parkour endeavor and how he got up there, of course. And apparently he's been climbing the turbine for over a decade, just for some alone time. Yeah, that guy's for sure Batman. Leave people alone. Stop flying drones near them. Number 9, ghosts. Ah yes, the black-eyed ghouls of Cannock Chase Forest in Stratfordshire, England. You've heard about this one? No? Huh. Listen up. They've been a local legend for hundreds of years now, and now we're finally at a time where drones are responsible for ghost photography. Yep, no escaping now, Casper. We have altitude and speed, buddy. These ghouls, they've been thought to be ghost victims that died from diphtheria outbreak back in the 1800s, so it's not like a scary ghoul Elden Ring type situation. It's just some lost souls, just some sad stuff. They're also said to be victims of Raymond Morris, who took the lives of several people back in the 1960s, so could be outbreak victims and could be worse. Either way, we got it all on drone cam. Check it out. Did you see a ghost wearing a white dress? A little odd to be in the woods like that, no? Definitely without bug spray, you'd probably be a little itchy. Imagine being a ghost and now you have to fly away from a drone. How stressful is that? Just a ghost racing a drone. Next paranormal activity right there. Number 8, Jeepers Creepers. This one I am not a fan of, okay? Some are afraid of heights, so the last one probably scared you. If you're afraid of clowns, well, buckle up. I grew up watching Jeepers Creepers, right? That movie ruined my childhood. Now this clip takes me back to the good old days. Kelly Lopez took his drone for a spin over a cornfield, maybe hoping to see some abandoned tractors, a sunset. Wouldn't hurt, you know, who knows? When looking back at the footage, Kelly discovered a clown that also discovered Kelly's drone. Yeah, the last thing you'd expect in a cornfield, right? Just a clown. A minute into the footage, the clown notices the drone and then sprints. It takes off so fast. It's almost like he got caught doing something, you know what I mean? Or else why would you run? Doing what though? I don't want to know. Why is he dressed up like a clown too? I need answers. I need all the answers. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. This is too creepy. Let's move on. Number 7, Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl power complex erupted. It was just a horrible time. It erupted due to unstable and low power levels. And in turn, reactor 4 had been shut down a day before due to maintenance. And the next day at 1:23 a.m., radioactive debris compiled of fuel and reactor components just rained down over the building. And toxic fumes were then carried from the wind, and after just 4 months, 28 workers had died due to radiation exposure. Fast. Now eventually, they of course had to evacuate over 100,000 residents, and to this day, that zone is a no-go for humans. No can do. But drones, on the other hand, sure, they can swoop in and have a different fate. That area right now is full of nature, but humans are nowhere in sight, so it's pretty beautiful on a grim note. It looks like something from The Last of Us. Reactor 4 will stay highly radioactive for another 20,000 years, so I want to grab a drone soon. Number 6, Shark Circle. Cool, all the fears in one video. Let's do it. See, this is where I can get behind drone videos. This is where I like drones. Just this one time. The ocean, right? We have no idea what's in there, in the top or the bottom. So let's fly over and see if there's any treasure or shipwrecks laying around. Much safer. Even for rescue purposes, right? If someone's in a cave, maybe they're spelunking and they go missing, well, send in a little drone. Don't send in more people to get stuck. I should be like a guy in the chair who like controls them. That's kind of fun. This next clip here shows surfers from South Africa not realize that they're paddling around a circle of sharks. Yeah, they looked at the footage afterwards and they were like, oh, we were almost lunch. How lovely. Now, I've swam with sharks before. I don't think sharks are the worst ever, obviously. I'm not endorsing that. But the circling part, the number of them and the circling, nah, I'm good. Number 5, massive whirlpool. This next one here will get a certain group of people. Again, me, I'm not a fan of large bodies of water or the ocean or circles of sharks. But murky water, like murky lakes, they're on my big fear list. I don't like those. I don't like putting my foot in a dirty lake. Back in February 2017, while waters were rising at Lake Berryessa in California's Napa Valley, the Glory Hole Spillway, don't you dare laugh at that. The Glory Hole Spillway did what life intended it to do. Did some spilling, there you go. Now thankfully a drone guy was nearby, always handy, those drone guys. So now we get to watch the horrors from above. Take a look. It's also terrifying too when the water is not up that high, because now you have this massive pipe just emerging out of the lake, which, I mean, that's a bit worse of a fear, in my opinion. Number 4, inside of a volcano. Awesome, just gives away everything in the title. If you're near an active volcano, don't film it. Just imagine it's the movie Dante Peak and run. Run far away for an hour and 46 minutes. Unless you're an expert. In that case, sure, put on your cool Iron Man spacesuit and then go sacrifice a couple of drones. Do it in the name of science, and then we'll watch and click the like button. A team of National Geographic explorers and scientists, well, they did just that, and it's very impressive. They had to sacrifice 2 drones to get up close to this active Merom crater on the Abram volcano in Vanuatu. Take a look. And also, shield your eyes, it's quite hot.
Iron-rich, which layers are sulfur-rich. Within the caldera as a whole, there's certainly life. Coating the walls as you go down, on some of the surfaces down at the bottom, almost certainly there's a high microbial constituency.
The volcano has a 7.5 mile wide caldera, and its active craters contain lava lakes that flow forever. So, number 3, Corvette sinkhole. I feel like this point is terrifying for a very specific group of people. Only if you're a Corvette guy. If you're watching, then, you know, you've been warned. Otherwise, it's just an epic fail, really. I'm glad nobody got hurt, if anything. In a bizarre turn of events, a sinkhole opened up inside of the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah, inside of the museum, just whoom, and then everything fell in. This was back in 2014. Now, like I said, luckily, nobody was around when the portal to the underworld opened up, but 8 Corvettes did get swallowed. 8 Corvettes bit the bullet. The devil wanted those 8 Corvettes for a very specific reason. I don't know. Maybe he likes to ride in style. He likes the roof off type vibe, you know? The Bowling Green Daily News reports that the sinkhole was not small. No, it was 20 feet deep and 40 feet wide in diameter. Now again, this all happened at 5:38 a.m. in the dome area of the museum, so no injuries. But if you're a car guy, this one's bad news. Prepare yourselves, here we go. The 8 cars claimed by the sinkhole included the 1993 ZR1 Spider, a 2009 Blue Devil ZR1, ironic, Blue Devil, that's why he wants it, and even the 1993 40th anniversary Corvette. Yikes, all in that hole. Whoops, what are the odds? Now the 2 ZR1s were on loan from General Motors, while the rest of the cars, well, they were just owned by the museum, so just a big L, very expensive L in my opinion. Sinkholes in this part of Kentucky are apparently not uncommon, so keep your head up, I guess. It sits on what geologists refer to as a karst region, where there are many underground caves and springs. Now, funny enough, engineers determined that the museum remains structurally sound. Still wouldn't catch me in there, no way. Sinkhole or not, I'm never gonna go to a Corvette museum in my life, probably. But if you're a car guy, hey, there you go. Number 2, bikes. Yeah, I bet you didn't think I would put bikes on this list, did ya? Well, think again, pal. It's one thing to see a city thriving and growing, like with many people, but especially that many people on bikes and bikers doing wacky lane change movements, it's a lot. But to see abandoned bikes just piled up, that's just sad. I'd rather see the opposite. I'd rather see an overflowing city than see a pile of dead bikes. Feels like something straight out of the movie WALL-E. Bike sharing has become a popular form of transportation around the world. Now in China, the supply of bikes is much greater than the demand. Add new regulations from local governments to lessen the amounts of bikes on streets, and well, now you end up with abandoned, and most of the time, never even used bikes, all sitting piled up in graveyards all across the country. Now, if you find one, this isn't a treasure chest. Leave it alone. This is a one-way trip to tetanus, so don't climb and explore. Don't be like DW from that one episode of Arthur where she cuts her leg on the can because she's in the garbage thing. Now remember. That's what drones are for, okay? That's what I'm for. Photographer Wu Guoyang captured drone footage of 15 massive bike graveyards, and they're all equally as haunting. The photographer claims that we're literally throwing away bikes, and that doesn't seem right. I have to agree. Give me like 3 of them. I had 2 stolen when I was younger, so 2 wouldn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. And finally, number 1. Bird drones. We'll finish on a weird one, right? Why not? That's what we're here for. Bird drones is not a new concept by any means, but back in the early 60s, the CIA had this secret program called Project Aqualine, where they used these large drones with a low radar cross-section and a little camera, all that cool spy stuff, and then they got caught. Obviously, it didn't look like a bird at all. They began working on it in 1965, and the first prototype, well, it was a bit obvious, wasn't it? It weighed over 100 pounds, it was this massive eagle, but the only way to catch it was to fly it into a net, which broke something every single test flight, so didn't work. We left it for a while. But now, cut to 2022, yeah, there's for sure a drone pigeon out there watching you somewhere. Olivia just did a couple lists on hidden cameras, so birds and drones, probably, someone's probably thought about it. People don't even think birds are real. They think those are drones, so if you're one of those people, I'm sorry, this video definitely did not help you. But if you're not one of those people, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, and come back. We'd love to see you. Keep thinking that birds are real. That's great. Starting our list off at number 10, the Red Door. Okay, if you're a fan of Haunting of Hill House, this first one here should tickle your fancy. Here we go. I'm terrified already. This is some hospital footage because, why not? This video starts off with a flickering light, but as the person filming walks down the hallway, the door at the end begins to open and close repeatedly. Like this, check it out. Now, once they reach said red door that was opening and, slamming shut, they realize nothing is there and it doesn't really go anywhere. The door just leads to pipes, like water supply pipes in case of emergencies, you know what I mean? So they're inspecting it to see what have caused the opening and closing when they began to hear banging coming from another door further down the hallway. And then, of course, like Looney Tunes, they go and check out that one as well. When they check it out, they find nothing and nobody. Honestly, you guys, when I saw the door at the end, when it didn't lead anywhere, I was upset. I was like, oh, someone's faking it. Maybe someone's there, doing something on the other side. Nope, just terrifying. There we go. Number 9, historic home tape. No, not one of those home tapes, you freaks. That's another video. This footage comes from a camera that was found at a historic home by a company that works specifically with historic homes. So specific. The footage found shows a few people just exploring around this abandoned home, checking out whatever's going on in creepy houses, you know, whatever we do on weekends. Apparently people like to explore abandoned stuff, because why not? We don't get to see what it is, but something very obvious freaks them out and they're not having it. They're scared while they're filming and then something else weird happens. Check it out.
Hello?
Now this is where the footage from one camera ends and then another camera's footage begins. There we go. It's like, here's a sequel for you. The audio is pretty distorted at parts, which kind of makes it scarier, but check out the other part as well. I'm not exactly sure what happened or who these people are, but something's going on in here. You know what? I'm tapping out. Let's move on. Number 8, Barton Mansion Ghost. This video is from 2001. Somebody explored through the Barton Mansion in California because, like I said earlier, some people like doing that for some reason. This mansion is said to be the home of tons of sinister happenings, satanic rituals, paranormal activity. It's even said that a demon haunts the top floor. It's kind of cool though, demon haunting the top floor. He's like, I shot to the top bunk, and then just floats around. It's said that the night before this video was taken, a group had broken into the abandoned basement, and there they found a creepy configuration of stones surrounding a piece of meat. They came back the next day to take some more video footage of the place, and the part of the video that I wanted to show you is basically a first-person view as somebody explores through said mansion. And it's when they spot something that none of us wanted to see, and that's when all hell breaks loose. Here we go. What exactly did he see there? I have no idea. If you have any ideas, put in the comments down below because I won't be able to sleep. Great. Number 7, clown sightings. This footage comes again from another home surveillance camera, and I feel like these things always catch the creepiest happenings. I just did a doorbell camera video where the dude's licking the guy's doorbell. That's the worst thing I've seen in ages. This time, when the homeowner went to check their footage, they were greeted by an extremely creepy clown. Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember years back when there was like a clown craze. Everyone just wanted to be clowns for some reason and hang out next to the highway. That was weird. I'm hoping that's where this video comes from, but again, there's no explanation, so we just gotta dive in and wonder.
Grabs a pumpkin and then tears it apart. The clown stares awkwardly at the camera before disappearing into the darkness.
I like that the reporter commented that the clown looked awkward at the camera before leaving. Yeah, awkward. That's for sure the word I would use for this encounter. Awkward. Not terrifying. Number 6, Blockbuster Ghost. Oh, a classic. For those of you who don't know, before the age of streaming and, LimeWire, Netflix, all that amazing technology, we had to go to a store with our legs and our families. We had to put on our winter coats to go rent a movie. And sometimes we got there and there was only widescreens left of said movie. That was always the worst. You're like, I guess. I would go in and hide a video sometimes, and then come back with my family, we'd find it, and then rent it. Now, as many good memories that rest there in Blockbuster, there's also some haunting ones. This surveillance camera footage shows an employee, after closing, restocking some of the shelves in the store, and then they notice something flying off one shelf while they're stocking it. And when he finishes stocking one shelf, he moves on to the next, but one video on the shelf he just worked on immediately falls off. Okay, maybe he put the video on the shelf in a, awkward angle. It wasn't a tight 45, maybe it was one of those and it kind of slipped down. It happens. But when he walks away, it flies off the shelf again. Now at this point, I would have already dipped, I would have signed out, maybe even quit my job, who knows. But he goes back, picks the video up, and he walks away again, but this time a video on the other shelf falls down right in front of him, and then as he reaches to pick that video up, another video falls, and then a third one falls. And then he understandably runs off after that. That's just, yeah, to be honest, at that point, I would leave. I would leave after the first video fell, if I'm being honest. Number 5, witch caught on tape. I am terrified of witches. I don't like this one. Okay. This video comes from Mexico and it's said to be a sighting of a witch flying through the air. I love this video. I saw this long before I started working here and it's been rent-free, just sitting right in there. I don't like how slow she's going too. Like, she's not in any rush. The people who recorded the video said they could see the figure wearing a cape, which is why of course we all assume that it's a witch. And also, she's flying through the air, so there's that too. Just to add another layer of to this already kind of weird video, police officers from the area also explained that they had seen some sort of witch-like creature before this footage was even captured. They said they saw some sort of creature dressed in all black with huge claws, and it had their head hanging down low. Like, imagine a police officer, I'd be like, what, go get that thing then. What are you talking about? Is that a gargoyle? I've seen Lord of the Rings. Can we close the city? That's terrifying. That's a Demigorgon. Number 4, creeper in the back. Not creeper in the front. That's a different video. This is creeper in the back. Here we go. With so much of the world working from home and needing to do Zoom calls all the time, and now we're just comfortable and no one wants to go back to the office, so we're just gonna keep doing it forever, I guess. After you see this clip, you're gonna be looking over your shoulder every time you're in a meeting in the future. Yeah, you don't want anything like that creeping around your house at any point. When you're looking or not looking, honestly. The sad part is that guy looked like he was having a good time. Maybe he got a promotion on this Zoom call, you know? Whatever was going on, he was loving it until, you know, the scary demon apparatus cloud monster thing appeared, of course. Then it kind of went downhill. Now I don't know what the aftermath is of this video, so if you want peace or sleep tonight, I can't help you. I'm not the guy for you. I just report the videos and go, that's scary, next. Number 3, the clip. This is a video that's titled Clip 95 MP4, and after watching it, honestly, I'm good with the other 94, to be honest. I wish I could explain to you guys what's going on in this video, but again, like the rest of them, I have no idea. That's why I included them. They're really baffling. It's a weirdly put together VHS tape, montage, whatever, that features some strange looking people in masks. A weird thing that maybe looks like a clock, and then a whole bunch of, it's just bad vibes. You know, Chris, just bad vibes going on. It's just not the mood for us. I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to find out, again, like the rest. I don't know what's going on with the clock symbolism here either. It's very specific. I feel like I'm late watching this video. Like I have like the anxiety going on now. Number 2, the chair. Not to be confused with the WWE wrestling move, the chair. This is way less fun, this one. I grew up watching the big comfy couch. I love comfy couches and comfy chairs. I'll sit on both all day long. A rocking chair as an adult, I'll be asleep in minutes. I love this. Except for when it's haunted and it just rocks by itself. Then in that case, I don't want to buy that, no thank you. This is a video of exactly that. It's a chair that is said to have been purchased, used just a couple of days prior, and let me tell you, I hope they kept a receipt. My grandma had a rocking chair, and she said that it would move on its own from time to time. Isn't that terrifying? My grandma told me that when I was like 8. And finally, number 1, VHS for sale. This VHS tape was found at an estate sale that was being held in a barn. Now the person who uploaded this tape found them in 10 boxes that they had purchased, amongst, you know, other things such as records, rusted tools, old paint cans, just borderline garbage, and they're like, ah yes, I'll paint it a different color and sell it for $1 more. And then, you know, sure. This video shows somebody walking through some sort of mildly wooded area in the daytime, which, okay, yeah, fine, that's all great and dandy, but then it cuts to a night scene immediately, and that's when the uncomfortable feelings start to rise up. That's when I feel like I'm gonna throw up on my keyboard watching this video. I have absolutely no idea what the white thing being dragged is, but hey, guess what? I don't want to find out. There we go. What a fun list that was.